I am here today with Cass Shaw, the President and CEO of the Council of Churches of Greater Bridgeport. It is an organization that Southport Congregational Church has had the pleasure of supporting for decades now, with many of our parishioners serving on the board of directors there and really being involved with all that you do. It is a great program so that it's focused on meeting the needs of people at risk and breaking the cycle of poverty through lots of different programs. So Cass, why don't you take a moment and share with us some of the things that you do?
Sure, thank you so much. We actually are celebrating our 75th anniversary this year. And I believe that Southport Congregational Church is actually a charter member. So for 75 years, you all have been a member of the Council of Churches. Right now, we are 70 congregations strong, and mostly mainline Protestant churches, but also Orthodox and Roman Catholic, Black and White, and Latinx, from all across the greater Bridgeport area, joining together to do together what none of us can do alone. We actually started right after the Second World War to take care of men and women who were returning to this area from places overseas and needed lots of care, recovery, help with trauma. I don't think they knew about PTSD at that point in the same way that we do today, but churches who saw returning veterans knew that they needed support and came together to make sure that that support was as strong and as good as they could make it. Today we have several different program areas. Our direct services include our Feed Center, our Janus Center for Youth in Crisis, Proyecto Nueva Vida, which provides support and first rung services for people returning to the community after incarceration, and our bridge building program. And we also, over the last few years, have been building our advocacy muscle, really working to effect systemic change in order to level the playing field for our clients.
It's a great mission. And I love on your website, it says, that you focus on collaboration and we are stronger together. And
exactly.
I really love that because Bridgeport is a very large city and you cover greater Bridgeport as well and some of the outlying communities and serving those people as well. And I think that for individual churches to have this kind of clearinghouse of where we can go and know that everybody's being served, not just the people of our own denomination, is really important, really critical.
I can tell you a little bit more about Janus Center, the way it's grown and evolved over the last number of years. We've always had, for at least 35, 40 years, we've had a 24-hour hotline for any kids who are in crisis and need to call. We are also the coordinator of the Safe Place Network throughout the greater Bridgeport area. So whenever you see one of those yellow signs that says Safe Place, whether it's a firehouse or any of the city buses or a business, a small business, whomever it may be, we are behind the scenes training those people so that if a young person comes in and needs help, maybe they're being followed, maybe they've just run away, whatever the issue may be, the people who are part of the Safe Place Network make sure that either the police are called if there's immediate danger, or the Council of Churches is called. And one of our case managers then goes out and offers a mobile direct response and makes sure that that young person gets the kind of care that they need.
And that's important. That's so important for young people because young people are facing some really serious and dire situations. Homelessness with children is on the rise, and teens in particular, and children who are victims of domestic abuse who escape from those homes.
Yep.
And then
exactly.
on the I-95 corridor with kids who need
trafficking,
trafficking situations.
Yeah. Exactly. One of the things that we've been we also have our host home model, which you referenced about Janus House. We actually now use volunteer host homes, and we're just transitioning into that new model so that people volunteer to open their own homes, which means that we're not paying rent on apartments anymore. Mm-hmm. Instead, we can put that money into supporting our street outreach worker. We do get a large grant from HHS, a federal grant from the Health and Human Services, and that helps pay for the host home services. The other big thing that we've really grown over the last 5 years or so are our school-based services. We now have an umbrella agreement with the Bridgeport School District and agreements with other particular schools in Stratford, working with 8 schools in particular. But with that umbrella agreement, we are able to get referrals from any schools for at-risk youth, kids who have high truancy rates or who have behavioral issues, who have been traumatized enough that they may be acting out or they may be the victims of aggressions or abuse. And we work with about 90 to 100 kids on a weekly basis throughout the school year to support them, to mentor them, to keep them in school and out of the juvenile justice system. And we're finding that a lot of our referrals these days are coming through schools and less so with just people on the street. So that's a great resource for us.
Yeah, well done. Well done there. So Cass, what would you say is your greatest need at the moment and how can people help you?
Thank you. Great question. So our funding comes primarily from the public. Right now, 75% of our $1 million budget each year comes from foundations and individual donations, and about 15% of that comes from our congregations. 25% of our funding comes from municipalities or state or federal grants. What we need most, frankly, is the kind of financial support that will allow us to run these programs well. Our feed center is right now struggling to keep the shelves of our pantries filled, and $1 goes a lot farther than going to the store and getting something retailed because we can buy in bulk and we can buy wholesale. Project Learn is being operated out of Summerfield United Methodist Church, and they run on fumes. They do amazing work, both with elementary school kids and with high school kids on their way to college. And our Janus Center is working through Howard White, for instance, getting food and clothing to kids who are living on the streets. Any kinds of donations would be greatly appreciated. Those who may want to get more involved, there are some great opportunities to volunteer as well. You could serve on a juvenile review board and help a young person avoid jail. You could volunteer at Project Learn once schools reopen and help kids with their homework. And there are other ways to get involved as well. Our website, new and improved, is ccgb.org, and there's more information there for those who are interested.
Terrific. Thanks so much for being here.
You are so welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. See you later.
Great.
Thank you for joining us for this Southport Congregational Church Mission Partner interview with Cass Shaw of the Council of Churches of Greater Bridgeport. To find out more about the work that the Council of Churches of Greater Bridgeport does, please see the link below. And if you would like to know more about Southport Congregational Church, our programs and our missions, and if you would like to join us live for a Sunday worship service, you can click the link below as well. And please, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.